This section, we're going to be doing commentary over Lord aDrive and Kareem M. I've seen this already. I didn't see it from start to finish, but I've seen bits and pieces. And so we're going to be doing the same thing with this one. Without further ado, let's get into it. Interesting enough, Lord aDrive is using Charizard, which is going to be a big deal. I believe Dynamax Solar Power Charizard. Thank you so much, Galaxy, for the 500 and the additional 500. I believe a team with Dynamax Solar Power Charizard won the regional. So I think it's going to be a big threat. I really do think it's going to be a big threat. And yeah, that's all I have to say. He's also using Butterfree, Torkoal, Mudsdale, Oranguru, and Duraludon. Very obvious Trick Room team. Very obvious Trick Room team. But again, we see the Duraludon. Duraludon is everywhere. Togekiss is everywhere. Jellicent is everywhere. Whimsicott is everywhere. Arcanine is everywhere. So these are the threats we're going to be seeing moving forward into the 2020 VGC 2020 metagame as it develops, all the way up until the expansion pass. Now, with the expansion pass, I do believe that we are going to see obviously Landorus, obviously Garchomp. We're obviously going to see the Regigigas Galarian Wheezing combo, right? Taking away its freaking ability. So we're also going to see Zapdos and Articuno and Moltres. We're going to see a lot of that. And Heatran and a lot of things that are staples really of every metagame that are usually, you know, when you look at something like our Lord and Savior, Lord aDrive, Dan, aka aDrive. I saw him. I didn't talk to him. He was talking with this guy wearing the same freaking shirt. I saw him in the hallway next to the elevators. We made eye contact. I did a creepy smile. I didn't talk to him because he was engaged in conversation. I wanted to. I also wanted to talk to Wolfie, but I didn't because I didn't want to come off like a creeper. But in hindsight, I probably could have just talked to both of them and it would have been fine because they're both there by themselves, you know, in a foreign land. But anyway, I've already discussed that several times. But for Kareem, we see Rotom Wash, Indeedee, Excadrill, Reuniclus, Arcanine, and Snorlax. So Snorlax also is a big threat in this metagame. Ninja, thank you for the 300. We also see Snorlax, which has been a big threat. Not as big as the previous metagame, but it's still a big threat. But again, we see another Arcanine. Excadrill, again, just like I said, medium usage. Not high like in the beginning, you know, not like online ranked battles, right? Where it's Tyranitar, Excadrill, and then fill in the blanks of the rest of the team, right? But we do see Excadrill. But what we're seeing a lot of right now, what I saw in person at Dallas Regionals, walking around, right? Duraludon, Whimsicott, Togekiss, Arcanine, and Jellicent. How many is that? Duraludon, Togekiss, Whimsicott, Arcanine, Jellicent. That's almost a full team. And then you throw in a Rotom, either Wash, Heat, or Mow, or you throw in a Snorlax, or you throw in an Excadrill, right? Or even a Dragapult, even though that wasn't very highly used, or you throw in Galarian Darmanitan, right? You use all of the top 5 that everyone is using all the time, and you fill in one extra Pokemon that rounds out the team. You know, whether it be you can use it in Trick Room, or it's a huge, like it's a big heavy hitter, right? And that's it, right? Whimsicott, Togekiss, Jellicent, Arcanine, and Duraludon. Those are the ones that I saw everywhere. Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, all the time. You know, on stream, IRL, walking around, people talking about it. People are talking about Trick Room. People are talking about how Dragapult was dead weight. People talking about how Jellicent is a big deal, and people tweeting and talking about how they're tired of seeing Togekiss. You know, Yawn, Follow Me, Flamethrower, and Dazzling Gleam. That's all you need. So how many generations until Rotom Fan gets a usable ability? That made me laugh. Okay, so let's get into the commentary. You guys just behave yourselves. I'm going to unmute the notifications. I had them muted because obviously they were happening while I was talking. But we're going to analyze Lord aDrive's, at least no more Incineroar. I think when Incineroar comes back in, you guys will be surprised how little it's used in conjunction with Landorus. Because I think Landorus is going to be used a lot more, right? Arcanine has always been a substitute for Incineroar or Landorus. And then when Arcanine was obsolete, in comes Incineroar. And then when Incineroar is made obsolete, in comes Landorus. Now, Landorus doesn't get Fake Out, and it does get Knockoff, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what the metagame looks like after the expansion pass, but up into the expansion pass, I can tell you, I was there. Whimsicott, Togekiss, Dragapult, Jellicent, and Arcanine. For sure. For sure. Right now, this is what's happening live, boots on the ground, live, real time right now. That's the team. That's the big five. And then you put in Excadrill, Galarian Darmanitan, Dracovish, Dracozolt, you know, Dragapult, something that's going to hit really hard, you know, or something that works in Trick Room, Rhyperior, you know, Reuniclus, Snorlax, you know, whatever, you know, pick your poison for the 6th team member, but everyone is going to be using those 5. Dynamax Shedinja. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, for the expansion pass, this is the last thing I'll see, and then we're getting into the match analysis. But Landorus T, we don't know if that exists. We know, wait, I don't remember what they showed. Let's just say I don't personally know if it exists, because I don't know if we're going to be able to change forms, but I'm pretty sure it might be just Landorus. Either way, Landorus is going to be back. Garchomp is going to be back. Heatran's going to be back. A lot of the big threats are going to be back, right? So, you know, because they're probably going to be doing Sinnoh remakes, and all of those Pokemon are from or around that generation. So they have to incorporate those, especially with the implementation of Pokemon Home. But there's also going to be new Pokemon that have Galarian forms that we have not seen yet that might be big threats in the metagame. But overall, I think, as I've said, up until the expansion pass, those big 5 that I keep mentioning for sure are going to be the basically standard. You know how in 2016 or X and Y, it was Mega Kangaskhan, Amoonguss, you know, Mega Mawile, and then you have Landorus, and, you know, all of, you know what I mean? You know, whatever. So anyway, let's get into it.
It'll reverse the speeds and make Mudsdale very, very fast. Butterfree is a very good support Pokemon in this format.
So I don't like that he's using Butterfree. I don't like that he's using Mudsdale. I would like to see on Dan's team, instead of Butterfree, maybe a Togekiss for the redirection. But Butterfree gets access to Sleep Powder, and Togekiss only has Yawn. Mudsdale is ground only, so it doesn't have Stab, Rock Slide. The Oranguru is fine. The Duraludon's fine. Charizard, Torkoal, those are good. But on Dan's team, instead of Butterfree, I know it's his mascot, but man, he could have used Togekiss and would have done so much better. And because we will find, let me pause it real quick, I sort of have spoilers in the future that he's using Sleep Powder instead of a redirection like Follow Me. So Reuniclus has Overcoat, which ignores Rage Powder and I believe Sleep Powder, but it does not ignore Follow Me, which was Dan's critical Eventually, there's a critical mistake where Dan tries to use Rage Powder and gets bopped anyway because Overcoat ignores Rage Powder. Overcoat ignores powder moves. So definitely instead of Butterfree could have used Togekiss, and instead of Mudsdale for sure could have used because I don't know, I mean, what does Mudsdale get? Let's look up Mudsdale. Let me scroll back. I was looking at Lapras. Let's go to Mudsdale. Let's look at its stats first. So Mudsdale has 100 HP, really buff, really fat, 125 attack, 100 defense, special attack sucks, 85 special defense. So if you throw a assault vest, it's actually pretty good, and 35 speed, which is really fast under Trick Room. Thanks again, Ninja Frog. Thank you for the 400. So it does get Roar, which would be really good for sending out Dynamaxes as an egg move. That would be really awesome. Gets Body Press, which it has 100 defense, which is a pretty strong body press. High horsepower, heavy slam, which I don't know how much Mudsdale weighs. It also gets Iron Head. It gets close combat, superpower, earthquake, low kick, stomping tantrum is a good one. Let's see, rock slide. But yeah, I mean, it's so if you look at Mudsdale weighs a lot, yeah, but it doesn't weigh like for body press. Think about the Pokemon that are weak to body press, like either Dark or Steel. Okay, so you're not going to send in Mudsdale as a check to a Dark Pokemon. You're going to send in a Fairy Pokemon, which Togekiss is everywhere, Whimsicott is everywhere, right? Or you're going to send in, you know, something. If it's an alternate typing, you're going to send in something else, right? Or a fighting type that also gets Stab, or a bug type like Butterfree. You're not going to use Mudsdale even with, you know, body press or whatever to take out a dark type. And for steel types, they're going to have a ton of defense. Yeah, body press is defense based and heavy slam is weight based. So thank you, Ninja, for the 100. So body press is defense based, and if you're using that to attack a steel Pokemon or a rock Pokemon, that can be pretty good. I mean, that can be pretty bad, but for an ice type, it could be very good because ice types sometimes don't weigh a lot. Avalugg weighs a lot. I don't think Galarian Darmanitan weighs a lot. I don't think a lot of the other ice types weigh a lot, but you know, body press against an ice type is good. Against a steel types are typically very heavy. And if you're going to use something like heavy slam, that you know, against ice types it might be very good, but against a rock type they're probably going to be just as heavy as you, if not heavier. So Mudsdale I would probably swap out for Rhyperior as your Trick Room. If you're going Trick Room, I would use, you know, obviously Torkoal is a monster, Rhyperior is a monster, right? You can have Oranguru, and then Duraludon is excellent, Charizard excellent, and then hey Kadami, what's up? And then Butterfree. So the two weak links on his team, no, not heavy slam against a ground type, body press, you know what I mean? But the steel type I was thinking about is, you know, Ferrothorn, which is, you can't really use a ground move. Anyway, the point is you can use a Fire Punch from a weakness policy Rhyperior and take out a Ferrothorn instantly, or an ice type or another steel type, instead of trying to use body press or, you know, heavy slam or whatever. And then you know, with Rhyperior, after weakness policy, you can just freaking Rockfall or, you know, Max Quake or Max Flare or any of the other moves. I just don't get the Mudsdale here. I like Mudsdale as a Pokemon. I just don't get the choice of Mudsdale over Rhyperior in Trick Room, especially once we've seen the Gyro Ball into the Rhyperior strat where it immediately, that was really cool. And then the Butterfree is just so I think Mudsdale, thank you Ninja for the 100, but I think the Mudsdale and the Butterfree really kind of screwed over Lord aDrive. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you can properly set up Stamina Mudsdale, yes, but he does not do that, and that's not that's not really gonna happen in this tournament format, right? So in a tournament format, it's very short games and you have to make galaxy brain plays, right? It's just like Tekken. In Tekken, if you can play safely, you want to play safe, you want to do combos that you're going to land every time. You don't want to do max damage combos. You don't want to do the optimal, well, if I can set this up and if I can do this and do that. You want to do the most basic, easy, safe flowchart thing. So all that you're doing is relying on your fundamentals and your skills and your knowledge to be able to win you the game. But something like setting up Stamina Mudsdale or, what's up, Jaden? Or setting up, Iron Defense Body Press Corviknight, you can easily get taunted out of that. You can easily, you know what I mean? And taunt is very common, especially on Whimsicott, which Whimsicott is everywhere. You can get put to sleep by a Togekiss, which Togekiss is everywhere, right? So what I'm saying is I don't understand the Mudsdale pick over a Rhyperior or over something else. You know what I mean? Thinking along the lines of Gyro Ball and its own Pokemon where you use Rock Blast on a weak Pokemon. Yeah, that could happen. But then then in that situation, you sacrifice Rock Blast for a better move, right? Gyro Ball is not a bad move. So you can get away with Gyro Ball into your own Pokemon because Gyro Ball on someone else is going to destroy them, as we saw in the previous game. But Rock Blast, unless you're Dynamaxed, right? The Rock Blast you would have to sacrifice Dynamax and wait, right? Or I don't know. It's just really weird. It's just really weird, and I don't get the Mudsdale. I don't get the Mudsdale and the Butterfree, but everything else I think is solid, and I think is a good team. Let's continue, please.
Teams, I think Reuniclus and Rangaroo, not the highest usage across tournaments.
Right.
Definitely moving up there. I mean, Rangaroo's been, and we're looking at it.
Don't necessarily need it. Charizard is one of the fastest Pokemon in the format.
So he leads Charizard, Butterfree. Every time. Do you guys know when I unmute notifications? I'm keeping them muted.
It's the ultimate first generation.
Charizard, Butterfree, Reuniclus.
You've gone to the forest and picked up the Butterfree.
Who just winked at the camera? Who just winked at the camera?
So it's going to be a case of always been an issue. It's got access to some
Who?
really cool moves. Instruct being pretty much the focal point. And we're looking at it. Both teams want to be using Trick Room, so it's going to be a case of who can take advantage of it as soon as possible.
Yeah, both teams, like to take advantage of Trick Room, but also have some.
Who just winked at the camera?
Charizard is one of the fastest Pokemon in the format right now. We actually are.
No way! No way! What are you talking about?
Really reliant on that sand, a very strong Pokemon in its own right.
Yeah, and I think there's some really cool additions on both teams. I think Reuniclus and
oh yeah,
both teams.
Lord aDrive. Oh Dan. Oh Dan. That's funny. Yeah, you did.
We actually are seeing it right on the screen immediately. So.
But yeah, so Dynamax Solar Power Charizard, very strong. Butterfree, very niche. It can be very strong, but we'll find out against this. Yo. No. I'm not sponsored by Discover, and I don't care about this. I don't know. I didn't know that this is a thing. On a VOD? On a VOD? They have ads on a VOD? That's weird. Okay. Can you guys barely hear commentary? Because that's what I want.
I mean, I think this is an interesting lead from the trainers. See who can carve out the advantage.
Right, this Butterfree is throwing a sleep powder because it will be faster than the Reuniclus, absolutely. But Reuniclus can sometimes carry the ability Overcoat. And if it is, it will
And
actually
it does. It does carry overcoat. And he didn't know that, and he didn't take that into account. No, okay. So I do want to say, no shade to aDrive. If you wouldn't have been talking to someone, I for sure would have, went up and shook your hand and got a pic with you and been like, man, thanks for coming out. You bring a lot of exposure to this community. Thanks for coming to Dallas. I'm from here. I'm very proud of everything that you've done. You're a great streamer, and thanks for showing up. You know what I mean? But I think that, I don't know. I don't think it's a mistake that aDrive got to make it on the stream. You know what I'm saying? It could have been anyone. Like the people that we just watched, they were just random people. And somehow aDrive magically shows up on the stream. I don't know. I hate you, and I hope you didn't know. No.
Shape out, really.
But he didn't know. He didn't know about overcoat, or didn't anticipate. He didn't anticipate overcoat on the Reuniclus. And his team, another thing, I'm going to stop pausing for a while after this, but another thing is his entire team is shiny. And he's come under a lot of controversy as them being hacked, but they're not, because he has videos of getting them, right? So that's out of the question. But when you get shiny Pokemon, they're not going to be perfect. They have to have mints, they have to be hyper trained or whatever, and that's very difficult when you're looking for competitive Pokemon, because unless you gen or hack them, if you are trying to use a Trick Room Mon and you get a shiny one, you cannot hyper train down. You cannot mint. You can mint for a negative nature, but you can't give a negative bottle cap. So if you want min speed, you cannot do that. So the fact that these Pokemon are shiny leads me to believe that they are not optimal, right? The spreads, the stats are not optimal. They cannot be minimum speed, because the chances of them having 0 speed and also being shiny. Yo, War Soldier 44, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. So the chances of these Pokemon being shiny and also having min speed for Trick Room are very limited. Now, I'm not saying he hacked his team at all. I'm not. What I'm saying is, if these are shiny and they're for Trick Room, he's already failed. Do you guys get what I'm seeing? Does that make sense? Like, yeah. Yeah, I do wish bottle caps let you, like when you go into the bottle cap menu, you have 0 and then you have 31 and then you could just change it, right? But you can't do that. And so based on what we know about shiny Pokemon and bottle caps and stats and everything, you know what I mean? You cannot have an optimal Trick Room team and they be shiny, unless you're breeding for them. Now, if you bred for them, you can just bottle cap another stat as long as they are min speed, but that's random, right? So you would have to have multiple shinies, right? If you get the first shiny and then it's not minimum speed, you have to start over. What I'm saying is, if the whole point is to get a shiny competitive team, you're gonna be breeding for a long time. Anyway. Thanks again, War Soldier 44, for the follow. Thank you to Ninja Frog for the 100. Unfortunately for me, I'm going to unmute notifications so you guys can just spam everything. Sorry, War Soldier, that your thing didn't come up with sound. Here, I'll give you a proper welcome to the channel. Well, guess what was not a proper welcome to the channel? Absolutely that. The first one with the proper theme that I worked hard for many hours on was a proper welcome, but it didn't have sound. And now we look stupid. So we're just going to ignore that all of that happened, and we're going to get back into the analysis. So he switches out Butterfree into Torkoal, which is fine. I should have known! I should have known! Oh my god, I should have known.
As well.
You love to see it, don't you? Just no holds barred.
Yep.
I should have known.
Pokemon make it huge.
Can you guys behave, please? I'm recording this for our YouTube overlords. Can you behave, please? Can you behave? I appreciate your support. I know that you love and support me. Hey. Hey. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you whether they're muted or not muted.
Huge and do as much damage as possible.
All right.
On the Charizard.
So Dynamax Charizard is going to be a big threat. It's going to be a big threat.
In a good position to deal some damage with that sun coming into play as well.
GG. Oh.
He decides to maneuver around this one.
Oh, well, the last one. Whoops.
Yeah, Kareem M.
Whoops.
This Arcanine because Arcanine is a very strong offensive option against this team. I was actually going to be that Reuniclus though.
Dynamax Reuniclus is super buff. Trick Room is coming out from the Reuniclus. That's crazy.
430 is such a nutty number to try and deal with.
War Soldier, you got. They're still muted.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the 300, buddy. I appreciate it. Welcome. Did you go to Dallas Regionals? Did you go to Dallas? Or did you watch? Everyone watching on YouTube, I'm sorry. We have a new person and we like to treat them with a little southern hospitality. So we're going to be nice, okay? Let me look up Reuniclus real quick. War Soldier with the silence. I like it. It's fine. I gotcha. Silent but deadly. Let's go. Overcoat. Regenerator is only for switching out. Dude. Reuniclus. 110 HP. 125 special attack. 85 special defense. This is a beast Pokemon. A beast. A beast. I don't know why he thought he could take it out with. I don't know. All right. Onward, please.
It's a real smart Dynamaxing Arcanine. Throwing up Safeguard there. Wants to keep itself safe. And it responds with a
Safeguard for what reason?
Into the Torkoal.
Holy Lord.
Right out.
A very smart play from Kareem there, knowing that Dan was
I forgot about that. I really forgot about that. Mindstorm into the Torkoal immediately. One hit KO.
Safeguard prevented a possible sleep powder from that Butterfree.
Yeah.
Max Mindstorm opting,
dude, that's crazy.
Just trying to break that focus.
So the Safeguard was for okay, cool. The Safeguard was also a ruse, right? So that guy using Safeguard like the Safeguard was almost like a fake out, right? It was a swerve. You know what I mean?
Right. No, with that Safeguard up,
it was a swerve because he has Overcoat. So Safeguard wasn't even necessary. It was for sure a strat. Airstream comes out. Dude, one hit KO. I wonder if he has Hurricane. Do you think he has Hurricane or Air Slash on the Charizard? Duraludon's everywhere. Flash Cannon. Holy Lord.
That's a huge turn from Dan.
That's a buff Duraludon. That's a buff Duraludon. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So plus speed to both of them. Charizard has... We don't know if Charizard has... why does his character look like Where's Waldo? What? Whose? Lord aDrive?
Well, it's going to be a combination of Rotomosh and Snorlax together.
Oh, that's funny. It does look like Where's Waldo. That's funny.
Right.
And right now, this Charizard's in a good position. You've
Dude.
got Harsh Sunlight set up. So you're going to be able to really
Dude.
take water type attacks any better. That's
That's
going to help
crazy.
out a little bit, and potentially as
So
well,
sun is up,
you
so
know,
Rotom
hold something like
almost
Charizard
doesn't
taken.
matter.
Charizard does have to worry, of course, about
I've
something
seen
like
this
Thunder
match
Roll
before, but I don't
or
remember what
doing huge
happened.
damage
I
that
also
way.
saw part of it
Right
live,
now, this
but
Charizard's in position to
I
start
still don't
attacking
remember.
whatever it wants. I think once you get
Ninja,
to
thanks
that
for
level,
the 200.
you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself, and that's very doable now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rotom keeping it safe. Gonna
Be right
protect,
back. That's cool, War
away. Doesn't
Soldier.
wanna get hit with any big attacks immediately. Max Flare, though,
Max
really
Flare
good
into the
targeting, I think,
Snorlax.
from Dan. Knows about the protection.
That has to be
Snorlax
Hurricane.
is brought down to an
Has to be
absolute
Hurricane.
pittance of health. It is enough, though, to hold on.
1 HP.
It's a Guave Berry, a good amount there, as Duraludon reveals
Holy
Solar
Lord.
Beam in the sun. Doesn't
Solar Beam
need
on the
to turn for
Duraludon.
any kind of charging,
Very
and that's
smart.
it into the protect of
Good
Rotom.
synergy.
Snorlax.
Belly drum.
Doesn't have enough
Oh.
health.
Right. That's a big
Dude,
turn for Dan
so
here. You know, Kareem protecting that Rotom
Solar
from
Beam on Duraludon might be, Dan might be onto something there. Lord aDrive might have a really good Duraludon. And then Charizard is also really good.
Wiping out the Snorlax's HP with
But
Max Flare. You know, taking advantage
that
of
damage
that
on the
Rotom and
Snorlax for
Yeah,
sure
Snorlax often does not carry
has to be
damage, so
Hurricane.
Dan possibly
For
thinks
sure
that
has to be
Kareem
Hurricane.
wants to stall out that
Because
dynamic
there's
protect
no
the
way
he can take advantage of that Snorlax and deny
you
that
can do
damage.
that much damage to a
But
Snorlax
Snorlax really didn't get what
on
it
the
wanted,
special
and
side.
I think, not being a
For
dry
sure.
drop is a problem.
1
And
HP
this
from
solar
full,
power is gonna be available with
just
a
from a
high solar power,
Charizard.
because Duraludon's also got
I
that
know,
speed boost as well.
I
From the
mean,
earlier max airstream,
I know
that's
it's got
actually
solar
one of my
power, but
favorite max moves.
it's
one of the
using
best because it
multiple
provides
moves.
kind of a
It has
speed
Life Orb, but it
tailwind.
does not have
Right,
specs.
It also just does a huge
So
amount of
that
damage.
maybe
Especially
specs
with Charizard,
damage
it's
with
very
solar
fast,
power,
it's
specs,
very
you know,
similar to something like a Prankster Tailwind in that it gets that speed boost immediately.
solar
Yeah,
power,
speaking of solar
specs,
beams,
Hurricane or
Duraludon's
whatever.
not the only one
but-
carrying it. Charizard also there. Rotom could cause a problem for Charizard without this kind of
Yeah,
coverage right
that's really
there.
nice.
Rotom
It's almost like a Charizard
all the
Y
way down, no issues
with,
there, knocking it out. It's
you know,
one weakness
solar power,
exploited a little bit.
solar power,
Goes
Life
down
Orb.
to Duraludon, follows up with a solar beam, probably looking to
Man,
double target the Rotom.
solar beams all over the place.
Just
Can
to
I
make
get a
sure
solar
the
beam in the
hits are-
chat?
it was gonna be there, but it's gonna land onto
Let me get a solar
Snorlax,
beam in the chat.
and Snorlax probably struggling to
See,
take this game.
that's what I'm talking about.
It's got three
That's what I'm
games
talking
to
about.
deal with.
Did you see the amount of damage that... So Duraludon has significantly higher special attack than a Charizard. Now this Charizard does have solar power and a Life Orb. Okay, cool. But it took a Snorlax. Snorlax that has... Let me look this up. Where are you, Snorlax? There it is. 110 special defense, 160 HP. 110 special defense and 160 HP. And freaking a Charizard, Dynamax Charizard with max Airstream, solar power, and Life Orb took it from full HP to 1 HP. That's insane. That's insane. That's a calc to memorize, for sure. That is a calc to go into Team Builder and Showdown and to memorize, for sure. For sure. And a Duraludon, which has, I think it's like 120 special attack, and Charizard only has like 100 special attack, right? 120 special attack Duraludon, not with stab, but man, oh man. Unless that Duraludon is timid instead of modest, like, holy lord. Dynamax Charizard is a threat. As I said earlier in my other videos and in other parts of the stream, Dynamax Charizard is going to be real. Marcos was right. You need to go subscribe to Moxie Boosted on YouTube. He was supposed to be here. I'm not throwing him under the bus. But the reason I started so late is because, spoiler alert, I was going to have Marcos here with me, but he had mentioned he was going to be hanging out with some friends, and I told him, don't even worry about it. And he would keep me updated, but he's Hollywood. We know this about Marcos, right? He's Hollywood. I'm not going to show the DMs, but yeah, I don't need to with Marcos. He's a great guy. Have another rock. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So anyway, there goes my rant about I took back the invitation. No, I just he said he would let me know, and I said no pressure. I'm just going to be drinking some beers and eating some pizza and doing match analysis, and that's it. So it's not I didn't want it to be a real formal thing. I said, listen, I thought I would reach out. I thought you would enjoy it. I'm going to be on Mixer. It's not your platform. It's not YouTube or Twitch. So just, I love you, and let me know. And that's where we're at. It's fine. Okay. Back into it.
Yeah, I know.
Recycle from the Snorlax.
Pokemon in years past, we have seen it, win these
a Guavberry.
But not right now. It looks like this Charizard
Gluttony.
Thanks to some very strong offense by
right, Gluttony doesn't do. I'm thinking of Cheek Pouch. Cheek Pouch doesn't do double. That's right.
But the sun has been such a huge factor in this game that I don't really think that's a bad thing if you're Dan.
The sun's been
dude,
pretty much exactly what he
the sun is insane in this game.
His max flares have done huge amounts of damage.
Should I eat pizza on stream? At the next break, I'll get more pizza and I'll eat it in front of you.
Probably feels fine. He just brings Duraludon and does things with that.
Right.
I want so. Thank you, Ninja, for the 100. GG, my dude. Dude.
I guess keep recycling and let Charizard get.
Yeah, I think this is done. Should we just skip forward? I think we skip forward for this one.
And Butterfree doesn't hurt it.
I think we skip forward for this one. Yeah. Okay, he's done.
There's
So Dan wins.
Stronger that we've seen, even Flash Cannon from the Duraludon's a little bit stronger. But that Air Slash knocked out the Snorlax, from decent chunk of health. And that just
he looks really stressed out. I don't remember. I think he lost this one, but he seemed pretty happy when I saw him in the hallway. But I don't know. I mean, he was in a conversation with someone else, but when I saw him, he's also not. I thought he would be like way taller, but he's not as tall as I thought he would be. No, like, again, no shade. I'm just like, these are just my thoughts. This is the first regional event that I've been to. I got the freaking t-shirt, right? Like, I was so excited. I live in Texas. I'm 15 minutes away from the venue. Like, it was really cool. It was really cool. I wish I would have gotten like some sort of crazy like wall scroll or a sword or some random thing, but I got the shirt and I took a bunch of pictures and it was really fun. It was really fun.
I mean, it's got an ability that literally says you can do more damage. When you throw that on with
so actually, it's so insane because right here,
starts to add up.
Strong Charizard can be.
Right here, he's looking out at the VGC. I mean, sorry, not VGC, the TCG floor, because that. Remember, I said that's where the stage was. So here, let's go to my Twitter. Let's check our messages from Marcos. Nothing. Okay, cool. Let's go to my Twitter. Where's the TCG? So do you see this stage? Can you see my mouse over here? That's what he's looking out on. He's looking out on TCG. He's not looking out on the VGC, which is this one. That's not where these were streamed. There's only one stream setup. So all of these guys playing VGC were probably still playing VGC. They were lazier setting this up than they were. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. But Dan, this is the stream setup over here. Ignore this guy looking directly into the camera, right? Over here in this big ballroom, that's where he's at. So these guys are playing TCG. They don't care. They don't care about VGC. So Dan, with this look on his face, he's just hanging out. He's just hanging out. He's feeling good. He just won, right? So there's confidence there, which is good, which plays a key factor into your decision making, which goes into what I said all of that to say this. I feel like he's getting, what's up, War Soldier 44? Welcome back. I feel like he's getting confident. And then in the next match, He doesn't think about overcoat on the Reuniclus, which he mentioned on Twitter, right? He mentioned on Twitter, but I don't think he thought about, because it seems like he thought about in the first round, but it doesn't seem like he thought about it in the second round, right? So let's go to the second round.
I mean, it's got an ability that literally says you can do more damage. When you throw that on with the life orb that we...
So I know you guys can't hear it, but this is significantly louder than what it was like in VGC. If you watch any of my other videos or other parts of the stream, in VGC when they were playing, it was dead silent. Dead silent. Ninja Frog, thank you for the 100 with the pizza. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In VGC, dead silent. There's not anybody yelling or anything like that. And until they had the spectators, like, you know, today it was really cool. There were, you know, people were doing whatever, and we'll watch those streams later. But this is before Top Cut. This is not Top Cut. But in TCG, it was loud as ballsack. Thank you, Galaxy, for the 100 and the additional 100. Thank you so much. Thank you. But in VGC, it's like a freaking library. Not even like a library, it's like a graveyard, right? When they start playing, I told the story earlier, but I was talking with this really nice couple, and we're like, ha ha ha, yeah, ha ha ha. And then they started. It was like a high school cafeteria. And then they started playing, and it was like immediately. It was so freaky. And we were like, ha ha, yeah, I also am wearing socks. It was so awkward. Anyway, so they didn't have two stream setups. So what he's looking out at is TCG. So he's feeling himself, right? He's feeling himself right here.
Really starts to add up. Of course,
because he won. But
it doesn't matter when you're just
I would be too. I'd be really excited, especially if I was at Dallas Regionals. I'm from Texas, right? I got the Texas tattoo on my arm. I win in Texas. Let's go, baby, right? Overcoat doesn't matter. But then we see later he doesn't remember overcoat. He doesn't remember. So last time he led, he's feeling himself on camera. But you guys know what I mean. It's no shade to Dan. I'm just doing an analysis, right? You know what I mean? I'm doing an analysis, like what we saw from him. He's just hanging out. He looks over, winks at someone, right? You know, the showmanship, right? Then he wins. He's looking out, feeling confident, cool beans, right? Cool beans. But what you don't realize is there's not a VGC happening. That's TCG. People there don't care about what's going on stage unless it's TCG. When I was there watching TCG, at like the rows of seats, a clammy fart. What's up? The rows of seats were full. I was on the end. Live on East Coast, USA. Dude, nice. So when I was there, all the spectator seats were full, and I was on the end. I was on the right side, and it was freaking Garchomp Giratina versus I think Mew and Mewtwo deck, but I don't remember. I know for sure it was Garchomp Giratina, but I don't remember because I was on Twitter so much and checking the schedule because I have incredible anxiety. And anyway. So he's looking out on TCG. VGC is not there. And you can tell where the stream setup is because it's so loud in the background. Because VGC is dead silent when they start to play. At least for Dallas Regionals this year. What's up? What's up? A clammy fart. Welcome, everyone. Let's get into it.
Maybe in the sand, maybe Kareem does.
So I'm going to skip forward. Ninja, thank you so much for the 200. So this time Kareem leads with Reuniclus and DD to prevent priority, I believe.
In game 2 here.
Psychic terrain.
Different leads. You actually get a little preview.
And then Orangaroo Butterfree. So he's going to want to go for Trick Room again. Instead of before, he's going to go for... Wait, what did I just say? That didn't make sense. He's going to want to go to Trick Room this time instead of before. And then I'm going to skip forward, Rock. Trick Room this time instead of before, and he still leads Butterfree. For the, do I like any sports? I mean, the only sport that I'd like would be MMA, but I don't follow any sports. I really don't. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a Discord notification. What is this? Neil. Oh, that looks very good. Thank you, Neil. Anyway. But not really. I like a lot of esports. I like watching a lot of Tekken. I like watching a lot of commentary. Anyway. But different leads from both teams. Last time it was Reuniclus and then I believe Arcanine? I can't remember. Reuniclus and something else. Rotom. It doesn't matter. And then Dan last time led Charizard, Butterfree. And the Charizard stayed around for a really, really long time. And the Butterfree did not. But we'll see. He starts feeling himself because he won the last time. And he forgets about Overcoat Reuniclus. He forgets. Which is, it's...
Before they even get thrown out with that lovely new spectator clan.
And this goes back to...
there's going to be a change-up. Indeed.
This goes back to... just remember what I was saying about... Thanks, Ninja Frog, for the 100. No knowledge of competitive Pokemon. It seems complex. No, not really. It's like, you know how the slogan of Hearthstone was easy to pick up, difficult to master? That's what Pokemon, competitive Pokemon is like. There's very simple mechanics, but once you stack them up against each other, they become very complicated, and that's where and there's also RNG, so that's where all of that comes from. Yeah, just click buttons and look at the pretty pictures. But yeah, it's very simple. It's designed for everyone, but when you start stacking the mechanics on top of each other, that's when they get very complicated. I love Lomajin. What do you mean? I was watching live when he beat JDCR at Evo. Or Tekken World Tour. I get them confused because they might as well be the same thing. Because I only watch Tekken. Yeah, dude. I love Tekken. Where have you been? We're best friends. Anyway, I'm recording, so I need to stay on topic. We need to continue this.
Coming alongside the Reuniclus, and it's going to be Orangaroo alongside that Butterfree. So quite honestly, both leads pretty conservative.
Weird.
No big hitters,
right.
No
I don't know. A weird lead from aDrive because there's not a lot of big hitters. Thank you, Ninja, for the 100. Not very many big hitters on aDrive side, right? Lord aDrive only has Orangaroo and Butterfree. They're not going to do a ton of damage. On Kareem's side, Reuniclus is a beater, and you know, Indeedee is the support. Galaxy, thanks for the 500. Indeedee has a Chesto Berry, so that's insane. Number one, because the Indeedee specifically had a Chesto Berry, which is unheard of. Like, it either has Focus Sash or the Mental Herb to prevent it from doing Trick Room or Follow Me or whatever, right? But it had a Chesto Berry specifically for sleep. That is insane. So that's why he switched to Indeedee, because he knew that Lord aDrive was going to bring Butterfree. Thanks, War Soldier, for the 300. Thank you so much. So this Thank you. All right, I'm muting you. 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 It's muted. You're muted. So yes, this in particular was best of 3, which people were actually complaining about. People were complaining about the Swiss rounds being best of 3, but I don't think there's a better way. Like, how do you like, how would you do it? Would you do, if you're doing Swiss rounds, would you do best of 3, best of like 1 win, like single elimination? Like, that doesn't, that's weird, right? That's weird that people were complaining that it's best of 3. But I don't know. And I've seen where events are best of 5, which is really cool for finals and stuff. But best of 3 seems like the standard, you know? Best of 40. First to 10. Can you imagine if VGC finals were first to 10? Like a fighting game? Whoa. The last the last of 100 wins. All right. Anyway, you guys are muted, and we're going to continue because we've already been going for 50 minutes. You know what? I'm going to make this a 2-part video when I upload it. So I'm going to end recording, and I'm going to take a break because you turd burglars have been spamming stars. So now you're unmuted, and okay. No, you know what? Let him support me. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. Okay, guys? I'm going to unmute you, and I'll be right back.